Nintendo likes Lynn.
Final boss, guys!
Who wants one of the worst final bosses ever?
Shooting beams
Look.
at you, man.
Oh yeah, no, this is the most advanced this boss gets as far as attacking
He's
goes.
shooting beams at you.
Oh, do not get me started on this.
Pew.
Oh,
This fight is awful.
I'm having flashbacks.
I mean, he has
Storm
storm
flashbacks.
he has
Because-
stormtrooper aim.
There was a while ago before we started doing YouTube. Sean was over one day and he wanted like
Hold on. This boss basically evolves into this. The game says, "Hey, you need a key to get up to Ganassi Gnorc. Go chase that green thief with a key."
Carson.
You know that aspect of the game that's debatably not even good when it doesn't have when it's not a boss battle.
You gotta cut the corner sharp, man.
Yeah, really.
You
should.
gotta cut the corner sharp.
Carson was playing this boss for hours.
Because he just runs away. This isn't a boss fight.
Oh, we haven't gotten to the bad part yet, Brian. Because that key works on that door.
Which you have to chase another one. Ooh, yeah!
This is why this took me so long. It wasn't like this boss is not hard.
You
It's
gotta
just
master your mechanics.
Say what you will about a hero's tale, but it has like almost none of these fuckers.
You gotta master the mechanics of the game, man.
I thought a hero's tale. I thought that's what the nursery side quest.
Those eggs are just in miscellaneous places.
How did you miss that guy?
They are.
Oh,
Yes!
if you fight him at the wrong time.
I don't know how
it's
many times you hit him with fire and it didn't count.
A hero's tale
But
took
that
out
one
the
did.
thieves.
A hero's tale has like few
Not time for
thieves.
the boss, Brian. Are you ready for this boss?
Like I said, this isn't a boss.
Oh,
It's
no.
just running. He just runs away from you.
This is
That's
the boss, Brian.
He's testing your mechanics. You gotta be good at the run mechanic.
Just that one.
doesn't test fire or anything.
I mean, I guess you're right, Brian, because the next section would at least kind of make that theory make sense, but there's no way to catch up to this boss. He's too fast.
He's
literally,
still running.
yeah, because he stops in that podium over there. You know what this game really wants you to do? Not catch up to him running, because you can't, because he's faster than you.
Unless you are a speedrunning god, I've seen people catch up.
Well, basically, what I understand, the best way to... Missing some gems. I really don't want to miss out on gems in this level.
Doesn't the path change when you actually do hit him?
Hold on.
I thought there were gems in the final part.
Like I said,
Yeah, no, they're gems.
the path changes.
I don't think I missed any, because I'm pretty sure I know how many he drops, and I know how many I need.
Who will cover Heroes Tale
Brian, this
more.
boss is 2 hits.
We'll cover Heroes Tale more when we play it, but it doesn't have a lot of thieves.
Mm.
And when I unlock the Ember skin,
That is when you have to hit him. It's
I-
almost impossible to hit him otherwise.
I am playing the
Let's
game.
not
now-
go for 100% in that game. That means we would have to play Blink.
And now the game wants
I'm
me to
100%
fly
in the
really
game.
fast.
Don't.
I must.
No.
Yes.
No.
Unfortunately, we must.
No. No one says we have to. It's like playing 150 on Mario Kart. No one says you have to do that.
I don't know, man. I almost have Rosalina.
150 ain't a
Mark,
problem. 150 isn't a problem.
So Brian, what do you think about that boss?
That boss was like amazing, man. He tested your running skills.
Spyro faster than
Even though,
Sonic, confirmed.
even though in reality your running skills didn't really matter there. You could start twice.
Yes.
See? Nasty Nork! He just said it.
No, he didn't.
No.
No,
Don't say
Spyro did!
Okay, yeah.
Spyro did! The guy is pronouncing it with the G's because they're supposed to
I
be...
don't care what Spyro says. As far as I'm concerned, Spyro's the youngest dragon here. He's uneducated. I'm skipping these credits.
Oh my goodness.
I can't skip these credits.
But Dan Johnson and Jared Hardy.
Hey, that means we have to sit through 2 of these,
Alex
guys.
Hastings.
Because we're gonna
Brian
get another set of
Hastings.
credits in a minute.
Oh, no,
Unless-
probably related.
Well, we have to sit through 2 of these. I could just edit...
Hey, I can get some A+
Ted
commentary
Price.
now that I'm not focusing on that horrible boss.
Alexander.
So Ryan, that boss stops on that podium. I have confirmed the easiest time to hit him is to wait for his invincibility frame to stop me working, because when he spins around, he can't be hit.
Mhm.
So, should we give final thoughts?
No!
No, we're not on final thoughts. We're not done.
Oh.
I got one more level.
Peter
to play.
Hastings.
Jeez, Carson, we're not at final thoughts.
Michael
The
John.
game's not done. I have to get 100.
Perry.
I only have 100%.
Jackie something.
We have to
I
go
have to get
one
100
step beyond.
I have to get
Entertainment
120%, Carson.
Peter Rogers. Jeff NG. What is that?
Thought we were done for sure.
Jeez, Carson, have you never played
Molly
Spyro?
Smith.
You made me play it.
Christian Davis.
And you got 120%, didn't
Sorry,
you?
that's never been
Yes.
accurate.
Yes, you forced me to do
Title
that.
screen comes
Music
up. This
by
was just a
Stuart
tutorial.
Copeland.
Pulling a Kingdom Hearts.
Jeff something.
Spyro Summer Vacation is over.
Spyro Dragon Designs by Dragon Voices by
Hey, that's kind of
Clancy Brown.
That's what Spyro 2 is about.
Carlos. I don't even know how to say that.
Who's Clancy Brown?
Mr. Krabs.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Krabs.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
SpongeBob's voice actor not in this?
Tom Kenny was Spyro in 2 and I believe Beyond.
Okay.
Sounds by
Not that you heard
Ron
most of
Houser.
that sound in this LP.
Kevin Spears. Additional thanks to Dana Long.
You see, reading...
Susan McCray.
You see, reading American credits isn't as entertaining
Derek
as reading
Fowler.
Japanese credits because you don't get names that you can horribly mispronounce.
No sheep. I love the no sheep or harm in the creation of this
Yeah, no
game.
sheep were harmed in the...
Few
good
Norks though, but no sheep.
Returning home.
Small random bonus detail about the Japanese version.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
So the way the game... I guess the game couldn't flag killing the boss for some reason and getting the credits. Either that, or they just really wanted you to have one extra dragon in Ganassi Gnorc's world. This dragon doesn't spawn until you beat the game. This thing's prerequisite is 100%. So actually, I only have like 99% of the game.
Magnus.
Nasty's ancient history now. So, what's in there?
I believe this is Nasty's treasure hoard.
See? He's calling him nasty too!
You have found everything in the dragon.
Ha!
Come back when you have reached 100%.
Or they couldn't find another way to basically give you that exposition to tell you how to open that.
Well, but it isn't open until you have that dragon.
But that's the thing about it
Yeah.
is that they put that they could have basically
Or
made
I-
a trigger where it checked for the fact that
I
you beat
imagine
Nasty,
one of
but
the-
the thing about it is that if you beat Nasty, they'd never make a cutscene where they explain.
I
it to you,
imagine
but it was
one
better
of
to do
the-
that way.
I just imagine one of the level designers...
And now I can fly, Carson.
I just imagine one of the level designers made this level and was like, guys, where do we put this in?
Though, the thing about the flight, it is based off your current altitude. You cannot go beyond the altitude you fly from.
You can't ascend or descend.
No, you can descend.
You can't ascend.
Chasing
No!
more guys.
No,
Yeah.
Carson, you can ascend to the altitude you last capped at. That's the...
And more thieves.
That's really weird.
Yes! So, like Sean started from the ground, if Sean jumps from a higher platform, he should be able to fly back to the altitude of the higher platform.
So basically, this level is a bunch of money and keys. And I need the keys to open doors to get up higher.
To get money, and you get higher, and money, and higher.
And money.
Repeat it nauseam.
And also, I believe your explanation is only part right. The altitude, I believe, is not from where you start flying. It's from wherever you got to last.
That's what I was
So
trying.
I can ascend as long as I have been up on a platform that's higher than I was. So like, if I get up there,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter as long as I glide from there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I can glide from
So,
the
I
ground
was-
and go up higher. See?
Yeah. Okay, I was half right. But my base mechanic was still...
Although I will say there are certain points where you can just kind of clip your way onto the ground.
Yeah, but I was trying to explain
Is
how
this
the
level counted in speedrunning?
if you're doing,
If you're doing 100%.
if you're going for the true everything the game has to offer, then yes. Because there's just standard runs where it's...
I don't believe there's anything lower than a purple or yellow gem in this mission.
Because there's a fuck ton of money in here.
2,000 gems. Oh yeah, also if you can hit these corners right, you can get up a little higher.
Mm.
Pro stress right here.
Masterpiece, the true Draco Slaying King.
Anywho.
You know, Spyro's being, like, very greedy. I know Nasty Nork was kind of a dick, but you don't have to take his basically life savings.
Sure you do!
You're being very Wario-like.
Gonna
right
go
now.
spend it on coke and hookers!
I mean, that's why Superpower does after this.
But wouldn't he be too young? Wouldn't he be too young, or are we going to assume
If you have 2,000 gems and want coke and hookers, are the people selling you the coke and the hookers really going to complain?
What's the conversion
I
rate?
don't know, young kid.
What's the conversion rate on gems? Because these gems seem to be kind of common and kind of large. I would assume these things aren't actually worth that much.
So Brian, how do you feel about Metroid Prime 4?
Hmm?
How do you feel about
Metroid Prime 4.
We already talked about this.
It was announced.
Yeah, and I told you exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
And now you can say it in the video.
You want me to say it? Okay, I'll say it again. I wonder how Nintendo's going to fuck up this one.
Damn.
Federation Force wasn't that bad as a game. As a game, Federation Force isn't that bad.
Well,
What was it supposed to be good as?
all the Metroid Prime games were handled by up
But
until
he keeps flying higher than me. What am I supposed to do? Get him from the ground?
I'm trying to
You got a sneak attack.
There's that spot up there.
Yeah, hit him with
That's
the
a higher
sneak-
altitude.
Carson, you have to get higher to get higher. We kind of just talked about.
No, that's my point. Is I think he needs to. Get
Oh wait,
higher.
I remember now. The guy flies low through like a tunnel. Like he'll loop and go down there, and you can get him. He'll go
No,
through.
he doesn't go through there. There's another one that goes through there.
Oh. So.
You gotta get above him, man, and shoot down on him.
But that requires him to go down. Okay, so he tries to go down there. Okay.
Yeah, man, you gotta
Okay.
tail him, and then you gotta shoot him when you're above him.
But he moves
No.
faster than I do.
Then go backwards. Shoot where he's going to be.
Well, I
not
was
where
going
he
to.
is.
What I was going to say, Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 were developed by Retro. Nintendo just gave them the okay for that.
But Prime 4 isn't apparently going
Going to be Retro, but Brian said, "What? How will Nintendo fuck this up?" Technically, it was never Nintendo in the first place. It's kind of my point here.
Well, he wasn't talking about Metroid Prime in the first place.
Well, I mean,
And
you
also,
know,
if
that-
you're
well, you know,
talking
guess
about
who gives somebody permission to develop your game?
Yeah.
The person that has it.
And also, I feel like that
Okay, so
statement
that one guy does dip.
Also, that statement, I feel like you're referring to Star Fox 64, not Star Fox 64, Star Fox Zero when you make that statement, which is a very loaded statement. Because there's a lot I could say about Star Fox Zero that's actually
What I
not
can say about
negative.
Star Fox Adventures.
Star Fox Adventures, that is a weird game.
It's a bad game.
Star Fox Adventures is okay.
I've seen a... Have you watched a playthrough of it recently? The later half of that game is so unfinished. It is so blatant.
That is a weird example, because if you know the development history of Star Fox Adventures, what actually happened with that game was, and it was basically more or less this, Nintendo was selling off Rare. And they knew that they were selling off Rare and that they would be, no longer owning them soon.
How selling off works.
Rare was in development on the N64 of a game called Dinosaur Planet. If you go look up Dinosaur Planet, you can find some like people who got a hold of some like alpha builds.
I believe a alpha romp from like an early ass E3 leaked online.
There's an alpha build that's kind of cool, but anyway, Dinosaur Planet, which is actually what Crystal is from, which is where I'm about to explain this whole crazy thing that happened. So, because Nintendo was selling off Rare was working on Dinosaur Planet, and Nintendo, apparently Miyamoto went to Rare's headquarters before during Dinosaur Planet's development, and before the whole selling the company off. When Nintendo went to Rare's headquarters, he noticed the male character of Dinosaur Planet kind of looked like Fox. So, because Rare was going to be bought out soon, Nintendo said, hey, instead of making this an original IP, Miyamoto basically forced them to change it into Star Fox so that Rare would pump out one last game for Nintendo, and so that Rare couldn't run off with Dinosaur Planet and put it on the Xbox.
Well, the running off with Dinosaur Planet part, that part is kind of just speculation, but that would make a lot of sense. And
I love this room.
you think Wario would, like, die if he saw a room like this?
I don't know. What's Gen conversion rate to coins?
Wario! Have you seen Wario's own games? He collects tons of gems!
Yeah.
Wario would come in his pants!
Oh wow.
That is a horrible, horrible pixelated render.
Oh, I lied. This return home, I believe, also counts. True ending.
So basically, the Nintendo forced Rare before they were sold off.
Well, people assume that's the reason. Again, it's never been fully confirmed, but that's very logical reasoning there.
I feel fired up, Bob, and I'm happy for the Dragon World, of course. I certainly wouldn't want to spend the rest of my Dragon days butting heads with Nasty Nork and his weird minions.
What's a minion?
Never mind. You know what they say. For every good battle, you need a good adversary. And I felt that Nasty, in spite of his misguided nature, was a worthy opponent. Uh-oh. Here we go again.
Sequel bait!
But the sequel has nothing to do with Nasty Nork. Like, at all.
Good Nasty's return. That's really where A Hero's Tale picks up. Chronologically speaking, A Hero's Tale is the second game in the series, Carson.
Actually, no. Doesn't A Hero's Tale acknowledge events from the second and
Yes.
No, Carson, it's the second game. Due to time travel.
Hunter and what's her name's in
To Price.
The Hero's Tale.
Wait, the one girl is?
I remember her being in there.
I cannot remember
Right,
anything
Carson,
about
now
that
you
game.
can say your final thoughts.
This game is aged.
Well, that was the point.
Oh, okay. I'll elaborate on it more. I'll elaborate on it more. As a game from the PS1 N64 era, when compared to other games of that era, it's aged fairly well. I would say something like Super Mario 64 has aged better, but compared to later Spyro games, it's horribly aged because it
that Mario 64 aged better?
only because Mario 64 has a remake.
That's not a reason.
Mario
It's like
64 has a
me saying Spyro aged plenty well since it has sequels.
Mario 64 has a definitive version with the
That
DS.
doesn't mean it aged better.
It has a version that fixes the
I
problem.
don't sit there and say this game is aged. But if this game didn't because it had a remake, no, because the game's still aged, it just has a remake.
But the remake fixes the aging.
But it makes a better version of the game that doesn't suffer from the age the other one does. Well, Super Mario 64 is still factually aged on the 64.
Yes, but it has a remake.
But that doesn't make it less aged.
My point was, compared to the later Spyro games, this game has aged because I'm only bringing this up because Brian's here, the first Spyro game has, after you glide, like basically you are locked into your glide, all of the later games have the small flutter at the end of your jump, and while Enter the Dragonfly is an awful game, just playing that, it was only for like 5 minutes, but playing that first, I got used to just playing with that jump, and you can tell this game really needed something like that jump.
The first Spyro game, like, the sequels immediately fixed the jumping thing and are generally seen as better, but Spyro's an odd series because it's like, you then have, like, Insomniac stop developing them, and you have Enter the Dragonfly, which is a broken mess, and
I don't want to go, like, into this, you know, too long, but we also have, like I said, generally compared to other games from this era, because this game didn't try to be fully, you know, realistic in things, the game has actually aged very well. Like, visually, it does suffer from PS1 jankiness that's just going to naturally happen, but, you know, because it's not super realistic, it hasn't aged as bad as, like, the opening cutscenes from, like, Tekken or something, or, you know, every character in Final Fantasy VII's Popeye arms.
they made a game, it was fine for the time, and then they made small improvements for the next 2 games, and then the series of Spyro gets really odd, because Spyro kept changing hands and quality, and it's just kind of a...
At one point it was developed by Sahara. Those are the people that made King's Quest.
Anywho, need to kind of be
Yes.
wrapping this up. We can ramble
I
about...
like this game. You collect stuff.
Collect stuff.
You beat the game, and you collected lots of stuff.
Collect stuff.
Yeah, that's what you do in this game. I'm gonna admit, Spyro 2 and 3 are objectively better games because they're more fun. But if you just want to, like, collect stuff, this game's better. Now, if you want to, like, feel like you actually have goals, because Spyro 2 has where you can collect gems, but you have, like, side quests and missions, kinda-ish. Because, you know, the world has its little issue going on, you have to go fix the issue. But then you have, like, little side quests to get the orbs, and it's a more structured collectathon, whereas this one's just like, hey, there's stuff in the level, go get it. But if you know, that little bit of, like, oh, just go get it, it's cool. It's the same reason I like Metroid Prime better than Metroid Prime 2 and 3. Well, I can't say 2, I haven't beat 2 yet. But I like it better than 3, because in 3, it's like, hey, there's something over in that planet. I mean, I like Metroid Prime 3, but Metroid Prime 1.
2 has its own list of problems.
Drop the ball on the
I am kind of afraid, because somebody said it wasn't, I was told it wasn't being made by Retro, and I'm like, oh.
But
Which means it has the ability to have
How
the ball drop.
will they drop the ball on the
Because
swim?
at least if Retro had it, you know, Retro knew how they made the first game, they could just make the first game again, in my opinion.
You know, we're fresh off the NBA Finals. I'm just picturing, like, the Metroid Prime development being described in this metaphor. It's like if you got the ball off a rebound and were going down the court, and then somebody stole it. And then they brought it back down the other end. And then they dunked on you. And then they inbound the ball to you. And that same person steals it again before you even get your hands on it. And then
Only
dunks
time will
on you
tell.
for a second time.
this will be the last 2 points I make about the Prime 4, at least for this. 4, but...
We do need to be.
That's why I tried to make these short. One, we really don't, at this point, know who is developing it, so it could end up being, you know, good because of who develops it, and the second thing is, I'm afraid of this game. People are, like, it's been 10 years since Prime 3, and, like, about basically 7 or 8 years or so since,
Other M.
So, this game kind of... I'm afraid people are going to have unrealistic expectations for this and are going to hate it because it won't live up to their ludicrous expectations that it can't meet. That's the reason I assumed for years Nintendo didn't touch a Metroid game after Other M, was because that's a series of, much like F-Zero, people's expectations are too unrealistic. That's why
After Other M?
That's why Star Fox Zero failed. People didn't like Other M. So, because people didn't like Other M, people now have this ludicrous expectation of a game like Super Metroid being made again.
Well, that just happened, but we're
ending there. That's a hilarious area to end.
really should be ending this and not rambling
That's
on.
why I made the point. I feel
What are you doing?
It's like he's getting zapped.
Boss can't even kill him, right?
How do you move?
So, about to call this a...
Look at this grade A boss design right here.
About to call this a day then, guys. This has been Spyro the Dragon, plus a bit of rambling at the end here.
This is P1000 with Spyro the Dragon here, signing off. Over, inner, outside, and out.
Well, see you guys later. Okay, guys. So my question of the day is, what did you guys think of the LP? Personally, I thought our commentary was really amazing. My overall thoughts on the game are Spyro 1 has aged kind of poorly, but at least our commentary was on point. It's not the worst aging when it comes to an old PS1 game, but I still feel it's pretty bad. And as kind of a bonus question, what do you guys think of Spyro 1? I would love to hear from you, so you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments below, or you can leave them on social media. All my social media links are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you liked my video, please hit the like button and leave some comments. If you're new to my channel and want to see more of my videos, please hit the subscription button and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please ring the bell next to the subscription button. That gives you the proper notifications of whenever I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. Doing all of these things really helps out the channel, and it really helps our communities grow. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.